It was nearly midnight when Emily Monroe pulled her beat-up sedan into a gas station off Highway 40. Rain slammed the windshield like a cruel reminder that time was running out. In the back seat, her 2-year-old daughter Lily slept, wrapped in a worn pink blanket. Emily dug through her purse, $9 and some change. She didn't need gas. She needed hope. Her dreams of becoming a nurse had vanished the day her boyfriend left after learning she was pregnant. Her strict, disapproving parents shut her out too. Shelters were full, jobs impossible without childcare. Every day was a fight for safety, food, and one more night. A kind truck driver offered her a coffee. She declined. She didn't want pity. She wanted a chance. As the rain fell harder, Emily looked at Lily's sleeping face in the rearview mirror and whispered, "I'm trying, baby. I promise I'm trying." "We'll be okay, baby. Mommy's trying." A local news broadcast hummed softly from the old car radio as President Trump's visit to a nearby community center was announced for tomorrow. Emily barely paid attention, but something inside her stirred. Not out of politics, but desperation. Maybe if she went, someone could help. Maybe someone would listen. Maybe there was shelter. So, Emily made a decision. Tomorrow, she would go, not for charity, but for her daughter's future. She had nothing left to lose. What she didn't know was that asking for a roof would lead to something much bigger. The next morning, the rain had stopped, but the air was still cold. Emily wrapped Lily in a thicker blanket and drove to the community center, her hands trembling. Not just from the cold, but from fear. Would they turn her away? Would security even let her near him? She had no plan, only a small spark of courage. She arrived hours early to find a line already forming. Families, reporters, veterans. Holding Lily close, a volunteer approached, asking, "Ma'am, are you here for the food drive or the town hall?" Emily hesitated. "Neither. I just want to talk to Mr. Trump." The volunteer gave a polite but doubtful smile. "That might be hard." Emily nodded. "I figured, but I have to try." The center buzzed with excitement as security lined the parking lot. Emily and Lily waited on the sidelines. She hadn't eaten in almost a day, but it didn't matter. She watched as the former president stepped out of a black SUV, waving to the crowd. The lights, cameras, and polished suits felt worlds away from her life. Still, she edged closer. Lily reached for a cracker from a kind stranger nearby. Emily whispered to herself, "Just 5 seconds. That's all I need. 5 seconds to be seen." Holding Lily tight, she waited for her moment. A large man in a black suit noticed her moving forward. "Ma'am, I need you to step back." "I don't want to cause trouble," she said softly. "But I need to speak to him. I need help." He looked her over, worn clothes, tired eyes, a toddler on her hip, and hesitated. "What kind of help?" he asked. "I just need shelter. A roof for my daughter." He seemed torn, then spoke quickly into his earpiece. Moments later, a woman in a sharp gray blazer appeared. "Follow me," quietly. Emily's heart raced. Maybe someone was really listening. She was led backstage, into a quiet room. Minutes passed before the door opened and Donald Trump walked in, flanked by 2 aides. He looked at Emily, then at Lily resting on her shoulder. "I heard someone needed help," he said. Emily stood tall despite her nerves. "Mr. Trump, I don't want charity. I just need a safe place for her to sleep. I've been trying, but no one gives me a chance." He didn't interrupt or smile. He just listened. Then he said something unexpected. "Tell me everything." Emily shared her story. Being kicked out, working 2 jobs that never lasted, sleeping in the car, shelters turning her away. Trump didn't comment. He simply asked, "What do you want right now?" Emily blinked. "A roof. A job. A chance to build something I can work for. I just need someone to believe in me." He looked down at Lily asleep in her arms, then back at Emily. "You're not asking for a handout," he said softly. "You're asking for dignity." She nodded. He stood and walked toward the door. "Let me see what I can do." An hour later, Emily sat in a quiet office, coffee in hand, when a staffer entered. "Mr. Trump asked us to place you in a furnished apartment tonight. It's warm, safe, and stocked with food. Tomorrow you'll meet someone from his foundation about a job." Emily couldn't believe it. I don't know how to thank him." The woman smiled. "He believes in second chances, and he said something else. You're the kind of person this country needs more of." Tears filled Emily's eyes. For the first time in years, she didn't feel invisible. The apartment was small but beautiful. Clean linens, a crib, toys. Emily tucked Lily into bed and walked through each room like it was a palace. She opened the fridge and gasped. Milk, fruit, baby food, everything she hadn't been able to afford in weeks. A handwritten note on the table caught her eye. It read, "For Lily and her strong mother, don't give up. Donald J. Trump." Emily sank to the floor, clutching the note. This time she didn't cry from sadness, she cried from relief and maybe hope. The next morning, Emily met with Caroline, a representative from the Trump Foundation. "We've reviewed your file. You've taken nursing courses, right?" Caroline asked. Emily nodded. 2 years, but I had to stop when Lily was born." Caroline smiled warmly. "We want to help you finish those courses online, fully covered by us. Meanwhile, there's a part-time opening at a local care center where you'd assist patients. Interested?" Emily almost laughed. "Yes, absolutely." Caroline handed her a folder. "This is your fresh start. You've earned it." For the first time, Emily felt like her future wasn't slipping away. Days flew by as she began working part-time at the care center, caring for elderly patients. Her manager, Mrs. Janice, noticed her dedication. "You have a gentle heart. People feel safe around you." Meanwhile, Lily started attending a free childcare program nearby. Every evening, they returned to their cozy apartment where Emily cooked dinner. They danced in the living room and laughed. One night, looking in the mirror, Emily whispered to herself, "You're doing it." She still had worries, but now, she had purpose too. A month later, Emily was invited back to the community center for a follow-up event. She wasn't sure why, until Donald Trump arrived and asked to see her. He smiled as she entered. "I hear you're working hard." "I am. Thank you for everything," she replied. He shook his head. "You did the hard part. You asked for help with courage, not shame. That's rare." Emily handed him a drawing Lily had made, a stick figure family in front of a house. "She calls it our castle." He chuckled. "Tell her the king says she's doing great." Emily's story quietly spread. A local reporter who witnessed her first meeting with Trump wrote an article titled, "From Car to Career: How One Mother's Courage Inspired a President." The story went viral, not because of Trump's involvement, but because of Emily's resilience. Comments poured in. "I was her once. This gives me hope. Thank you for showing us what strength looks like." Emily read them with wide eyes. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was inspiring. One afternoon, Emily received a letter in the mail. "Dear Emily, I'm a mother of 3. I was about to give up, then I read your story. Now, I'm fighting again, thank you," she wrote, tears falling once more. Then she posted online, "If you're out there struggling, please know you are not forgotten. Keep going, even when it's hard, especially then." The message was shared thousands of times. Emily, who once begged to be seen, was now giving others the strength to stand. Months later, she finished her courses, became a certified nursing assistant, and earned a promotion. She moved into a better apartment paid for with her own savings. Emily volunteered regularly at shelters, often bringing extra food and clothes. She knelt beside frightened mothers and whispered, "I know. I really know." One day a young girl asked, "How did you get out?" Emily smiled. "I asked for help, and someone gave me more than I ever expected." Late one evening her phone rang. It was a private number. "Emily, this is Donald. Just wanted to check in. How's Lily?" Emily was stunned. "She's amazing, walking, talking, singing non-stop," she replied. He laughed. "That's good to hear." She hesitated, then asked, "Why did you help me that day?" His voice softened. "Because too many people walk past someone like you and I didn't want to be one of them." Inspired, Emily started a local initiative called Lily's Light to help single mothers find emergency housing. With local donations and foundation grants, she opened her first shelter room. She spoke at churches and schools, always ending with the same message: asking for help doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. The crowd often rose to applaud, but Emily always reminded herself it all began on a rainy night with $9, a car seat, and hope. A year later, Trump returned to the UI area and asked to tour Lily's Light. Emily proudly showed him around the modest space. He looked at her and said, "You did this?" She smiled. "We did." He looked at Lily, now holding a toy stethoscope. "Is she following in your footsteps?" he asked. Emily smiled. "She says she wants to fix people's hearts." Chuckled. "She already is." That night, Emily sat at her desk and wrote a letter. "You changed our lives, but more than that, you reminded me that hope is real, and that being seen can heal the deepest wounds. Thank you for offering more than a roof. You gave us a reason to keep going." She never sent it. Some letters are just for the soul. Emily's biggest day arrived. She graduated with her full nursing degree. Lily clapped from the front row as Emily walked across the stage. The announcer paused and said, "Joining us virtually to congratulate our honoree is President Donald J. Trump." His face appeared on the screen. "Emily, you are proof that strength comes in many forms. I'm honored to have met you. Keep going." The room erupted in applause. Emily wiped tears from her eyes. She had come full circle. Years later, when asked what changed her life most, she never mentioned the apartment, the job, or the fame. Instead, she said, "It was the moment someone looked me in the eye and said, 'Tell me everything.' That moment gave me back my voice, because what I received that day wasn't just a roof, it was respect, and that changed everything."